Welcome you Dafties to this wild episode of the Misadventures of Kevin. This time, our eejit hero and his numpty pal Lance find themselves in deep shite thanks to their troublemaking dogs. Kevin's scruffy mutt Jake and Lance's mischievous terrier buddy are up to nae good, especially Buddy, who just cannae stop buggerin poor Jake. Watch as these two daft dogs create utter chaos, from knocking over deck furniture to racing through the village, causing mayhem everywhere they go. You'll laugh, you'll gasp, and you'll shake your head at the sheer stupidity. Sit down, shut up and enjoy the madness, Slàinte you bawbags. Gather round ye daft bastards for another tale of calamity involving wee Kevin, Lance and their troublemaking dogs. Kevin had a scruffy wee mutt named Jake, and Lance had a mischievous terrier named Buddy. These two furry eejits were just as bad as their owners, if nae worse. But Buddy had a particular problem. The wee bastard just couldn't stop buggerin Jake. It all started one sunny afternoon when Kevin and Lance decided to meet up at Kevin's house for a bit of banter and a drink. They brought their dogs along, thinking it would be grand to let them play while they got pissed. Jake's been full of energy the day, Kevin said, watching his dog chase his aim tail. He could do with a bit of exercise. Lance laughed, patting Buddy on the head. Aye, and Buddy's been a right wee shite as usual. Let them bugger each other and wear themselves out. The dogs, already in high spirits, started running round the garden like madmen. But it wasn't long before Buddy's red rocket made an appearance. The wee terrier started chasing Jake with a look in his eye that said he had one thing on his mind. "Oh, for fuck's sake, Buddy," Lance shouted, but the dog was too far gone, his red rocket out and ready. He pounced on Jake, who yelped and tried to escape, but Buddy was relentless. "Jesus, Lance, your dog's a right perv." Kevin laughed, nearly spilling his whiskey. "Aye, I ken," Lance muttered, trying to pry Buddy off Jake. "He's got a problem, the horny wee bugger." Jake finally managed to shake Buddy off and darted up onto the deck, but Buddy was nae far behind. The two dogs started bugging each other like mad, knocking into chairs and sending everything flying. But then, in a fit of madness, Buddy gave Jake a right shove, and Jake went sailing over the edge of the deck. "Ah, shite!" Kevin shouted, leaping to his feet as Jake plummeted down. Luckily, Jake landed on his feet, a bit dazed but nae worse for wear. He shook himself off and barked up at Buddy, as if to say, "Is that a you've got?" The villagers, drawn by the racket, gathered round to see what the hell was going on. Old Mrs. McTavish, clutching her pearls, gasped at the sight. Those wee buggers are at it again. Buddy, nae done with his mischief, ran down to join Jake, and the two dogs continued their antics, racing through the village and causing a muckle of chaos. They chased cats, knocked over market stalls, and even managed to trip up old Hamish the constable, sending him sprawling in the mud. "Get those wee shites under control," Hamish roared, shaking his fist as he tried to wipe the muck off his uniform. Kevin and Lance, laughing so hard they could barely stand, finally managed to corral their dogs. We're sorry, Hamish," Kevin wheezed. "They're just a pair of dafties like us." Hamish, nae in the mood for their shite, glared at them. "You two need to keep a better eye on those troublemaking mutts. One of these days they'll cause a disaster you canna fix." Realising they'd pushed their luck, Kevin and Lance took the dogs and headed back to Kevin's house, still chuckling at the mayhem they'd caused. "Well, that was a day," Lance said, shaking his head. "Buddy's got a real problem with that red rocket of his." "Aye, but they keep life interesting," Kevin replied, scratching Jake behind the ears, "just like us." And so the tale of Jake and Buddy's madcap adventure was added to the legends of Glenfinnan, a reminder that sometimes the biggest troublemakers come in the smallest packages. If you ever think your pets are a handful, just mind Kevin and Lance, the kings of chaos and calamity, and they're daft dogs.